that represents a collapse feature, and that is exactly what we're looking for.
Definitely appears to be a tunnel.
So-called treasure location.
Really would like to see what's at the bottom of that shaft.
What you're about to hear was never supposed to be made public. In 2026, Oak Island didn't just give up another clue, it gave up proof. Not a coin, not a broken tool, but something so exact, so intentional, that the entire excavation team went silent the moment it was revealed. Because this discovery confirmed one chilling truth. The Oak Island treasure is real, and someone went to extraordinary lengths to make sure it was never found. A hidden structure sat precisely where a long-band historical map said it would be. A material appeared that didn't belong to the time period, and markings were uncovered that experts now believe were deliberate warnings. This wasn't buried so it could be discovered. It was buried to be protected. Before we reveal what was uncovered, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because the final revelation in this video permanently changes the history of Oak Island. And stay until the end, because the last discovery answers a question no one ever wanted answered. Who buried the treasure, and what were they afraid of? The story begins in the 1700s, when 3 young boys started digging. At first, it seemed like nothing more than dirt and stone. But every few feet, they struck something unexpected, proof that someone had been there long before them. Wooden log platforms, layers of charcoal, even coconut fibers, something that has no natural place in Chester, Nova Scotia. It was obvious that whoever created this went to incredible effort. But the real shock came nearly 90 feet underground. That's where they uncovered a stone slab covered in strange coded symbols. When the message was finally deciphered, it sent chills through everyone involved. It read, 40 feet below, 2 million pounds lie buried. From that moment on, obsession took over. For more than 200 years, expedition after expedition has poured money, time, and cutting-edge technology into Oak Island. Millions of dollars spent, every theory chased, every lead explored. And every time, the island pushed back. Tunnels flooded without explanation. Boreholes collapsed. The deeper they went, the deeper the mystery became. Some believe the Knights Templar hid their vast treasure here after fleeing Europe. Others claim priceless original manuscripts from William Shakespeare were sealed in a lead-lined chest. And some insist the island was once the secret stronghold of a powerful organization like the Freemasons. But despite all the theories and all the money, Oak Island has offered very few answers, and a lot of tragedy. 6 people have already lost their lives searching for the treasure, fueling the dark legend that a 7th must die before it's finally revealed. One thing is certain, the more you dig into Oak Island, the more it digs into you. And now, this latest discovery proves the island has been hiding something far bigger than anyone ever imagined. By 2026, the search had reached a breaking point. The famous money pit had become a flooded, unsolvable puzzle. So Rick and Marty Lagina, the brothers who devoted their lives and fortunes to Oak Island, decided it was time for a bold new approach. They shifted their focus to a stretch of land that had been ignored for decades, the area between Lot 5 and Lot 9. For years, it appeared completely unremarkable. But new data told a very different story. Advanced satellite imaging and ground-penetrating radar revealed a massive anomaly beneath the surface. What they saw stunned them. Buried deep underground was a long, perfectly straight, flat surface, something that looked completely unnatural. It resembled the roof of a structure or the top of a wall. Excitement spread through the team. This could be a sealed chamber, a hidden tunnel, or a barrier built to keep something or someone out. This time, they weren't guessing. Using the most advanced technology ever brought to Oak Island, the team mapped the site in incredible detail. Ground-penetrating radar scanned up to 100 feet below the surface. LiDAR technology created a precise 3D model, exposing features invisible to the human eye. Magnetometers searched for metal, while sonic drilling tested whether the ground below was solid, loose, or hollow. Every single scan pointed to the exact same spot. It was as if the data itself was screaming, "Dig here! The reading showed a massive, dense object buried deep underground. Marty, ever the skeptic, insisted they follow the science, not instinct. And the science was clear. The excavation began with extreme care. No heavy machinery, no reckless digging. The team worked slowly, removing soil layer by layer, like archaeologists protecting a priceless site. Drones hovered overhead, recording every move, while each scoop of earth was examined in real time. This wasn't just another clue. This was the beginning of Oak Island's greatest secret finally coming to light. At first, everything looked normal. Soil, rocks, old wood fragments, the cold, wet earth of Nova Scotia. Then, time seemed to stop. As an experienced excavator carefully scraped away the dirt, his tool struck something hard with a sharp, unmistakable sound. Not the dull thud of stone, not the scrape of soil, but the clear ring of metal against a solid surface. Work stopped instantly. Everyone rushed in as the dirt was gently brushed away. Within minutes, a flat, nearly cement-like surface appeared. At first glance, it looked like a massive stone slab. But the deeper they cleared, the truth became undeniable. Clean, straight lines emerged. Perfectly cut edges at precise 90-degree angles. This wasn't natural. This was man-made. Then a corner appeared, sharp, deliberate, unmistakable. It looked exactly like the wall of a buried room or structure. Tool marks were visible on the surface, signs that it had been carefully shaped and intentionally hidden. And in that moment, the team realized something chilling. Oak Island wasn't just hiding treasure. It was hiding a secret meant to stay buried forever. By this point, no one on the team had any doubts. This wasn't a strange twist of geology or a natural formation. It was an ancient structure, built by human hands and buried with intention. The mystery deepened even further when, while following the wall, they uncovered what looked like a threshold, possibly a doorway. A clean rectangular opening had been deliberately packed with dirt and stone, as if sealed on purpose. Marty stood at the edge of the excavation, staring down in disbelief. He said it was the most solid, unquestionable structure they had ever uncovered on Oak Island. This wasn't just another clue pointing in a direction. This could be the entrance itself, the actual doorway people had been searching for over centuries. And from the look in Rick's eyes, it was clear this moment felt different from everything that came before. The texture of the stone, the sharp edges, the gentle curve of the doorway's corner. None of it was accidental. Every detail had meaning. Every cut served a purpose. And now the biggest question hung in the air. What was on the other side? A hidden chamber? The legendary vault? Or something even more unsettling? A tunnel leading deeper into an even larger secret. They weren't just digging anymore. They were standing at the edge of history. Whatever lay beyond that wall had the potential to rewrite everything believed about Oak Island, secret societies, and its shadow-filled past. Then, an unsettling thought began to creep in. How could something this massive have remained hidden for so long? Oak Island had been searched relentlessly for more than 200 years. That question reopened one of the most disturbing controversies in the island's history. Some believe this structure wasn't being discovered for the first time. It was being rediscovered. The rumors trace back to the 1960s and the infamous excavation led by Robert Dunfield. Unlike others, Dunfield used brute force. Bulldozers, cranes, massive earth-moving equipment. He tore into the Money Pit area, leaving behind a huge crater that permanently scarred the island. The official story says he found nothing, only collapsed tunnels and destruction. But the scandalous theory suggests something far different. According to unverified local accounts, Dunfield's crew hit a solid, man-made barrier deep underground, one eerily similar to what the Laguna team had just uncovered. Instead of revealing it, panic may have set in. The theory claims Dunfield, running out of money and fearing that a major discovery would attract government scrutiny or rival treasure hunters, made a shocking choice. He allegedly ordered the structure reburied. The ground above it was intentionally collapsed, hiding the discovery until he could return with more funding and a smaller, more trusted crew. But he never returned. That possibility casts a dark shadow over the current discovery. Were Rick and Marty truly the first to see this structure in centuries? Or did someone uncover it 60 years ago and bury it again for himself? It raises unsettling questions about what else might have been found and lost. Some even claim that Franklin D. Roosevelt, who was fascinated with Oak Island long before becoming president, secretly funded an expedition in the early 1900s. According to the rumor, that expedition produced a detailed underground map, one that later vanished from government records. At this point, the story stopped being just about treasure. It became a story of greed, sabotage, and secrets, not only kept by ancient orders, but by modern men. The Laguna team now had to consider that they might be facing more than an old curse. They could also be confronting the hidden actions of past searchers who were just as clever and just as secretive as the original builders. As they prepared to investigate the structure more closely, the team couldn't shake the feeling that the ground beneath them held secrets from more than one generation. With the massive stone wall fully exposed, something unusual caught their attention near the sealed doorway. In one corner, the packed soil felt slightly looser. A few team members noticed something else: a faint movement of air, a cold, subtle draft drifting upward from below. It almost felt like something on the other side was breathing. This had to be it. An ancient entrance, carefully sealed, leading to a hidden chamber or a network of tunnels. Rick didn't hesitate. The order was given to clear the doorway, but with absolute caution. All heavy machinery was shut down. From that moment on, only hand tools were allowed. Slowly, carefully, they removed the dirt and stones blocking the opening. Eventually, a narrow gap appeared at the top of the doorway, just wide enough to slide a camera through. A fiber optic camera was brought in, a thin, flexible device designed to explore the tightest spaces. The team gathered around the monitor, barely breathing. As the camera slipped inside, the screen flickered to life, and a collective gasp filled the air. Inside, a long, narrow tunnel stretched forward into darkness. The walls were smooth and deliberate, clearly shaped by human hands. But what stunned them most were the massive wooden support beams lining the tunnel every few feet. These weren't modern timbers. They were hand-cut, built in an old-world style, proving the passage dated back centuries. There was no longer any doubt. This wasn't a natural cave. This was a deliberately constructed secret passage. The camera pushed farther in. The tunnel was too tight for easy human movement, but the lens continued forward. At the edge of the camera's light, the tunnel appeared to open into a larger space, a chamber. It matched the hidden vault described in the oldest Oak Island legends. And yet, the revelation didn't stop there. As the footage was reviewed more closely, the team noticed something else carved into the stone walls, something that tied this discovery to one of the most famous secret societies in history. When the image was zoomed in, strange markings became clear. At first, they looked like random tool marks, but they weren't random. They were intentional symbols. Some resembled crosses, but not ordinary ones. They were an ancient design with flared ends, known as a cross-pate. And that symbol changed everything. The symbol was unmistakable. It closely matched the mark used by the legendary Knights Templar. A cold shiver moved through the team as the weight of the moment set in. The oldest and most controversial theory surrounding Oak Island was no longer just speculation. It was there, carved into solid stone. They weren't just uncovering history anymore. They were standing at the edge of what could become the greatest discovery of the modern age. If you don't want to miss what comes next, make sure you subscribe to the Timefold channel and tap the like button, because this story is only just beginning.